Alright guys, we are back today with a new car update for the channel here. So this is my 2007 Ford Explorer. I picked it up last March and have just been driving it ever since. This has pretty much been the main car here I've been driving. So anyways guys, it's been long enough. I haven't made a whole lot of videos lately, but I figured I'd throw this one up on the channel because this one, I've taken quite a liking to this thing. So I picked it up down in Virginia, so it's pretty much rust free. Paid like $2,000 or something for this, but I've also put some money into it. So I put a couple grand into it as far as getting it up to spec, as far as being daily drivable. And that pretty much entails new suspension all around, new brakes up front. I had some saga with the spark plugs. I kind of cross-threaded a spark plug under the hood, but I didn't. Anyways, I had to pay labor to get all that done, as well as with like the struts and stuff like that. I'm definitely missing a few things because owning this thing has been kind of a drama show, at least starting out. I would say over the last 2.5 months, 3 months, the car's been pretty flawless. As any car, I guess you have to remind yourself that's 16 or 17 years old at this point. It's an 07, so it's gonna need a few things, but like I said, picked it up, have done a lot of little reconditioning things to this to make it nice. As you can see, it looks pretty damn good on camera, and I have to say it looks just as good in person. So basically, when I bought it, being a southern car, I replaced the headlights, got new housings up front, got some new fog lights down below as well, and I got a new grille for it. The old one was kind of delaminated. The sun kind of made it all wrinkly. But for what I could tell, this is pretty much a garage car its whole life. So guys, that is it. I mean, I've done quite a bit to it. We'll go around and show you what's been done to it so far. So like I said, I could have probably polished out the headlights, but they were $100. Parts for this thing are so cheap, so why not get a new set and make the car really stand out? As you can see, it just looks stellar for an 07. It's probably one of the best looking 07s on the road up here in the state. But this is an Eddie Bauer Explorer. It does have the 4-liter V6 in it. It's got somewhere in the neighborhood of like 200 horsepower, and it's probably similar torque. I gotta say, it's definitely a pretty healthy number driving this thing. It does feel quite healthy, especially with those new spark plugs. As you can see, the Explorer right there. And then I just buffed the hell out of this thing, so you can see it is just mirror fresh. So again, the Eddie Bauer gives you the tan cladding down below. You get the nice little pinstripe with it as well. If you guys have watched a few of the videos, this time, or a little earlier than this time last year, I had an 05 Explorer briefly. That thing was a total turd compared to this thing. So I gotta say, I really do like this generation. After spending some time with it, Ford really nailed it on the head there. Then they made the minivan looking thing. But anyways, I really have come to like this truck, or SUV, whatever you want to call it. If the trailer hitch down below, the tow package, I believe in this one can tow 3,500 pounds. It does have the hitch, but I think with the tow package, the real one, it can tow about 5,000. I think it just beefs up your gearing and your tranny cooler. So it's pretty much a base model Eddie Bauer. The only things this has on it as far as options goes is the sunroof, third row seats, and I want to say these crossbars. And I'll get to the interior once we get inside. There was like an Eddie Bauer luxury package, I guess, for this thing, which gave you heated seats, dual climate control, automatic climate control. This has none of that. It's single zone, which is surprising for an Eddie Bauer, but I did a little bit of research, and yeah, you could. There was 2 types of Eddie Bauers: base model and luxury model. So this is the base. I'm such a fan of this combination with this blue and the pinstripe and the tan. I think it really pops. And then this thing actually came with the base model alloy wheels, which were pretty bleak. And so I had really thought some Sport Trek Adrenaline wheels would look really good on this. So that is what we did. I checked Marketplace for quite a while before I found these, and they were not too far away from me. So I got these Adrenaline wheels. They are 20 inches. They are polished. Being polished, they do have some salt damage to them, but I will definitely take these slightly salt damaged wheels over the ones that it came with. it looks so good. And then I got super lucky. They got brand new tires on them, brand new Hancocks. Paid I think about 600 bucks for that, and plus I got a 5th full-size spare. So you definitely can't beat that deal, especially when these wheels are really hard to come by. I think you can buy these on eBay for like 800 bucks a piece, because there's some people that do refinish them and sell them, and I know people do pay for them. So I got lucky there, especially with the new tires. The tire pressure sensors are missing, or they're dead, but so I do have a light on the dash. But other than that, not bad. It does have the running boards down below, and they are not the power ones, thank God, because the power ones, those things break all the time. But that is it for the exterior. Just going over it real fast. Not really sure what else to do, but the paint on this thing is, I have to say, it's like a 9 out of 10 if you're comparing it to new cars. I'd say almost in better shape than a lot of new cars. But let's go see the inside real fast and give you a little idea what we have done to it. So, being in my infinite wisdom, I didn't make a before video of this truck, but I wish I would have, because this has really come a long way. So we'll start over here at the door panel first and foremost. This is an Eddie Bauer. So Eddie Bauer does give you the wood trim. You get a lot of wood trim on this. So I went to the junkyard, and I got a few other things. I made a big junkyard run and got these satin window switches off a Mercury Mountaineer. So that was pretty cool to kind of make it look a little bit nicer in here. Was not a fan of the wood, but I do think the satin trim does look quite well with the rest of the interior. Also popped out the chrome air vents, because this has the mod from the factory. When you drive, the sun will hit the chrome at the right angle, blind the hell out of you. So also replaced the air vents from that same Mercury. Now the driver's seat, it's, the clips have broken. These things never held up the greatest, especially if the people beat on these things. So I think, all things considering, for the interior, this is the only real eyesore, and I don't even notice this anymore when I get into it. So we do have a 10-way power seat. Pretty nice. This is probably one of the most comfortable vehicles I've driven, especially with all the adjustments on the seat. You just have to sit in it to know what I'm talking about. Gave them a nice conditioning. If you can't tell, I gave this thing a hell of a detail, mainly because it needed it. But did condition the seats. They did come back quite nice. Considering this, it's not too bad. If you look at the other ones out there, they're pretty much on par to this, or worse. So we'll jump on in. Steering wheel right here is from that same Mercury. The leather on this was kind of worn off and dirty, and that wasn't too nice. So I got the steering wheel for like 20 bucks at the junkyard. It's got the same Mercury accents here. So if this were the Ford wheel, it would just be kind of this rubber right here. So you have the nice accent, which is kind of cool. That looks premium, more premium than what it would look like. When I got the vehicle to my house, I took all the seats out and shampooed the carpets. They came out pretty good. A lot better than it was. It definitely wasn't like this when I bought it, but it was a good start. So we are facing the sun here, so I do apologize for any glare. But looking at it, when I put this wheel in, since this is not the luxury Eddie Bauer, I did not have steering wheel radio controls. And when I replaced the wheel, obviously this had it from the Mercury, I gained steering wheel audio controls. So back in Ford's good old plug-and-play days. Also had to replace the radio as well, because the screen on the other one was dim. It didn't really work. So I got another radio from the junkyard. So yeah, it works. I think I spent like $60 on parts between the radio and everything. This center console is out of a Limited Explorer, again from the junkyard. Ford doesn't pad this unless you get a Limited, so I found this. I thought that was pretty cool to get a padded armrest. Yeah, so it's put together well. I mean, with old junkyard parts, it definitely cleaned up. Stick the key in and start it up here and see what we have. So that 4-liter starts right up. We have some faults again with the tire monitor, and then the oil. I just changed it, but I didn't reset the light. But as you can see, we have 166 on it. I think I bought it with like 160 or 161. So I put some mileage on it. And again, it's been pretty good overall. Doesn't get the best gas mileage, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me all that much. this is a really cool SUV to drive. Again, it sounds funny because it's a Ford Explorer from 2007, but something about driving this, it's pretty nice. Again, there's your single zone down there. Then we have the 4x4. This is 4x4 as well, which is cool. Can definitely come in handy in the wintertime. Again, we have a 5-speed automatic down here, so it all works pretty good. I think the trans has definitely been replaced at some point or another, because it does shift too good for what it is. And there's the passenger side. We'll go check it over in a second when we get there, but there's a sunroof up top. Yeah, so that's it. Let's go check out the rear seat. So coming to the rear seat, guys, we did the same thing with the switches. We replaced those as well, and then gave the back seat a nice little scrub down, and then conditioned on top of it. So I'd say the interior's in really fine shape for considering everything this truck has lived through. I keep calling it a truck, but it is a frame, so if the shoe fits. So there's the carpet back there. Again, I'm just focusing on the carpet because it was kind of dirty when I got it, but it did turn out pretty good right there. Do some floor mats back here. They have some vents, and then I'll show you the front end of the inside. So I really haven't enjoyed a vehicle as much as I have in a long time. I think I like it because it was so cheap and it's just been so good. Like I said, there's been a few things with it, like I said at the beginning of the video, that made me want to tap out on it, but I can't get rid of this. It's just been too good so far. I really enjoy it. So in good old, what do you call it, traditional SUV, you do get a little back popper for your hatch right there, which is cool. I really don't use it a whole lot, so I do see why a lot of companies have gotten rid of this feature, but it's still cool and classic. I think Ford brought this back for the Bronco Sport. Trunk. And then again, this does have the third row option. As you can see, it does have the seat belts, which is down. I got this Husky mat through it back there, but the carpet's in pretty good shape. They get a little storage bin down below, which you have all your jacks and what have you. So we'll shut the trunk here. Again, being a Southern car, no rust. That's another reason I like to hold on to it. It's pretty nice. Trailer hitch is spotless. Up north, you see a lot of these. This whole thing is just one big thing of rust. And there's the underbody. It's pretty perfect. So, passenger side. Figured it'd be a good time for a video because it's not usually this clean. But there's passenger side right there as well. You do have a manual seat there. I think the luxury ID Bauer gives you a power one. But I will say they are super comfortable seats. Not a bad place to spend time. And the carpets over here, again, they turned out really good. I really wish I had made a video before I really went to work on this. I did have the front windows tinted and the windshield tinted, so it just makes it more tolerable to drive in the summertime. Windshield tint, something I thought I would never care for until I got it. Definitely enjoy that windshield tint. So under the hood here, we do have the 4-liter. Did new spark plugs, new wires. I did all the spark plugs one night around the time I first bought it. I thought I did a fine job on it. This is one hell of a job to do. The wires are a pain in the ass to replace. They go right through there. Not fun. This was probably a 4-hour job for me to do. The plugs came out super easy. I did the wires, got the wires routed, and then came over to this side and did one of the plugs. For some reason, one of the plugs didn't thread properly. I don't know if it was from somebody that maybe have replaced them in the past. I'm pretty sure they were original, but somehow or another, the threads got screwed up. Whether it's my fault or just luck of the draw, it happened. So I started the car up after replacing everything. It was misfiring. I was like, what's going on here? Everything I did replaced one wire, one plug. Put a new one on, put a new one on. and went right down the list. So how could I have messed the firing order up? It stumped me. And basically I got sick and tired of putting new plugs in it and damaging them. I think the piston was smacking the plug and bending the electrode back, so it was misfiring. I eventually took it to the guy that did the suspension on this, the shocks. I had him do the plug, and he had to re-thread it. Or he had to chase the thread or something, one way or another. Between all of that drama and a few other things I've had to deal with, it was like, wow, this is ridiculous. But I'm glad I stuck through it, and I'm glad it's, you know, I'm glad I've kept it, because what we have now is a really nice, higher mileage driver. But yeah, I trust it. So give it a quick little walk around one more time. We'll start it up, maybe get under the hood, show you it running real fast. So there's the 4-liter cranking away. I'd say it's been pretty nice, pretty smooth right now. So. But yeah, guys, there's a quick video of the new vehicle to the channel, if you will. So hope you enjoyed some videos for a change. As usual, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you all later.